Jeffree Star and I have very similar taste, obviously. Just saying. Welcome, everybody. I am Cher, and we just got in the new Orgy 2 from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. We're going to do a full review today and some fun looks. I'm actually going to compare both the Orgy 2. Here is the actual palette out of the very fun packaging. And we're going to compare it to the OG Orgy. I got both palettes from his site. He has everything kind of organized into different bundles. So I ended up going for the bundle that was both palettes, basically. So what we're going to do is a review based on kind of the similarities and differences between the two palettes. So you may already own the original OG Orgy one, so you can kind of see what the Orgy 2 is like and if it is worth picking it up or not, or if you're going to be just fine with just Orgy 1. So anyway, if all of this interests you, stick around and we are going to dive right on in. All right, guys, so welcome if you're new here. I am Cher. I do a lot of reviews on the channel. I love, picking up some of my favorite like eyeshadow palettes. I actually do a rankings video every month too, where I rank all of the eyeshadow palettes I've used for the month. And we do declutters and things like that every so often also. But Jeffree Star formula is one of my favorites. I am a sucker for his palettes. Like all his stuff really, but like his palettes, just, there's something about them. I love them. So when I saw he was coming out with a new collection, I've been kind of waiting for him to announce what it was, and realized that it is indeed the Orgy 2. And so here is a look at it. This is the brand new one. I am really loving off the bat. I don't know why, but I am drawn to that one right there. Okay, but of course, he has his OG Orgy out there. It's one that I have actually really wanted to get. This is not for the color lovers, and I think a lot of people come to Jeffree Star being color lovers. But I think this one is still very popular. It's mostly, I think it's all mattes in this one. And so I've had my eye on it for a long time because I've wanted it for like, I'm a freelance makeup artist, so I do a lot of bridal makeup, and I have his formula as like a go-to formula, honestly. And most people don't use Jeffree Star for bridal makeup. They use it more for those fun, colorful, fun Jeffree Star looks. But honestly, I find his formula amazing, and I think it's the color shades. Like there are certain shades that are just, that I need for my clients that are just really hard to find in other palettes sometimes, and then with such a good formula too. So I really had my eye on this one as like a neutrals matte option, just to have so many good colors right there at my fingertips. I've been using the Makeup by Mario neutrals matte, Masters Mattes neutrals palette kind of as a backdrop, and I have my own customized little pan of them, but this would honestly be so perfect. So since I saw that there was a bundle to get both of these, to be able to try the new one and have the old one, I couldn't resist finally getting this one too. So off the bat, let's look at the differences and similarities between the two. And immediately what I'm noting is a difference is that you have some shimmers, a few more like shimmery textures than in the Orgy 1, which I'm going to call it 1. It was just Orgy, but I'm going to say 1 to distinguish. So in Orgy 1, it's all mattes, whereas in this one, you have some shimmers mixed in. What I'm curious about is, are they like the exact same colors, but just with shimmer added in? And I don't think so, because I'm seeing some differences already. Like, if you look at the bottom row of pans, they're very similar in the shade, the color story, but they're not the exact same. Like you have your darker, smokier colors up top, and you have your lighter, brighter colors at the bottom. So very similar on both. And in the middle, you've got kind of those medium ranges. You got more like pinky leaning shades on the second rows there, but they're still different. So it's a little bit different, but almost, it's so similar enough, you know that they're sequels or sisters or twins or something to each other, but it's not like the exact same colors. I am going to go ahead and swatch these, even though there are 30 pans in each palette. It's going to be a lot, so we're going to have 60 shades in all, but what I want to do is I want to be able to put them side by side and really get a good feel for how they look on the skin. I mean, it's on my skin tone, but you know, that just gives you a great idea of the swatches better, and out of the pan next to each other. So I will be right back. I'm going to do that off camera and then we will talk about it. All right, I did the first two rows, the lighter rows first. Look how gorgeous that is. First of all, can we just talk about this? This is the second one. This is our new one. Oh my gosh. What stunning shades. I mean, this is so beautiful for bridal. Like, this right here is what I'm talking about. And even more so than I think the first one. So your first one, you know, it is practically the same colors, but in a matte format. So you can see there's like, these are a little more peachier leaning. I mean, you've still got a little like peachy in here. You got a little bit maybe darker slightly here. But overall, I think you still got mostly the same color story. Like those pinks right there are pretty similar. So you've got a mix of like peach, pink, a little yellow almost, and like the whites. So it's practically, you're going to find the same color story in both palettes, but this is going to be more in a matte format, and this is going to be some absolutely stunning shimmers in there. And like, look at that one and that one and that one. Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait to play with this. Okay, I'm going to swatch up some more. I'll be right back. Okay, here is the third row, or like the middle. This is the absolute middle row here. Trying to line them up. So fairly similar in the kind of neutrally browns over here, these medium tone colors. But this is where I think you get it different, because you're turning a little more orange and coppery over here, but you're staying pretty neutral and brown over here. And then of course you're turning into shimmers on this side. So we're seeing more color and variation, I think, in the Orgy 2. And of course we're seeing more shimmers. Absolutely stunning so far. I'm just in love with Orgy 2. I mean, all right, so I'm gonna have to erase my hands now and move on to the last two rows that are gonna be your darker, smokier ones. So I'll be right back. All right, and here are the last two rows. Practically the exact same color story, almost. I mean, almost exact. The colors are so similar here. So really your differences is just that added shimmer. Maybe there's a few more darker, like blacker ones than on this one. You've only got about 3 here, but 4 here. Overall though, pretty much almost exact same colors. So really the biggest differences I think were in the middle row, where you had more like orangey copperier colors that you don't have in the Orgy 1. And of course you have more shimmers now in the Orgy 2. So overall, I am so excited about Orgy 2. Like, oh my gosh. I almost feel like all you could ever need might be in this Orgy 2, but we're gonna play with it and see what I think. I do want to show you these swatches I have been scrubbing and scrubbing at, and I can't get them off. This is from the Orgy 1 palette though. The Orgy 2 took a little bit to get off also, but definitely the Orgy 1. So I don't know if you guys have experienced this, where these darker colors, it's definitely the ones in the, you know, deeper shades. I don't know if they maybe stain your eyes. I haven't played with it yet to know, but figured I'd give you that warning. It didn't seem to be as much so on the Orgy 2, but it did take a little bit extra scrubbing, I will say that. So interesting. Okay, let's get started on the fun part of playing with these palettes. So I may attempt to do the same thing that I did with my Natasha Denona palettes recently. I tested out the I Need a Warm against the I Need a Nude palettes from her to see how similar they were. But I started off with a look on each eye from one palette each, just to kind of compare how they would look, like their similarities. And then I did a few more just all one look from the same new palette. So I think I'll attempt the same way with Jeffree Star. I think we're going to start off maybe comparing both Orgy palettes on each eye. And then after that, we'll play around with like a couple more looks from the Orgy 2. So I'm going to try to figure out what would be the most similar look. Really, I just want to see, you know, how similar some of these colors are. So obviously the first look, we're probably going to make a matte look. I think I'll do Orgy 2 on this side and Orgy on this one, similar to how we did the swatches. So in comparing the two and trying to see like which ones are the absolute match, I will say that Orgy 2 skips some shades. So in Orgy 1, you have almost like every shade range you could think of in neutral colors. I feel like Orgy 2 has not duplicated the exact same shades, but has done almost like one shade off. It's like they took a skip. So I really don't think that he duplicated any shades in these palettes. I will go ahead and start off by saying that. So honestly, there's no exact shade matches, which is kind of cool because he did truly give us like new shades. And there's some that are like so similar, but they're not the exact shade, because I have been looking for like what are exact shades. There are none, I can tell you that. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with ones that are at least super similar. I think the most similar one I could do that's in like a medium shade range is gonna be, this is called Ex-Boyfriend. Love that. Right here. And then over here in the Orgy 1, so that was Orgy 2 and Orgy 1. This one is going to be called Knee Pains. I always love the names. So that is about the most similar to I can think of. Let's start on Orgy 2. Now I'm just going to use this one as kind of a medium tone shade in the transition area here. And oh my goodness, as usual, I love the formula already. It just blends like butter. I love Jeffree Star's formula so much. So much. Okay, now I'm gonna take this one from the regular Orgy palette. I wiped off my brush and we'll do this side. Is that the same color? You know, they're still not the exact same color. Can you notice the slight shade difference? But for the most part, it works. Right, I'm gonna go in with a dark one. I think the closest is gonna be Cabin Wood in Orgy 2 to match with Money Shot in Orgy 1. This is so pigmented. So unlike some of my other shades where it builds up, it goes right on, very pigmented. So a little bit goes a very long way. I'm gonna have to really blend that out. But that's what I love about the Jeffree Star formula. Everything's pigmented, it's buttery, it's beautiful. Okay. See if we can, now let's come in for the other side. Very pigmented too. Same story. Is it the same color? I can't tell yet. I'll look. So pigmented. Almost for these darker colors, like, ooh, that pigment is a wild child. You gotta like just go very gentle handed, soft handed. Okay. Is it the same color? I mean, I think it's pretty close match, and I've got it everywhere. Hey, and then I gotta say, like, again, there's not a lot of the exact same shades in even the lights or mattes, but I'm gonna probably go with the plainest and most closest match I can find here. This one is called Role Play. This middle one right here, just a very neutral. And then we're gonna compare it with Silk Robe right here. From Orgy 2, let's do a Role Play. I'm just going to put this on my base, on the lid. Dab it around. Should we make it a cut crease or should we just blendy blend? I don't know. You know, with matte colors, it's just kind of like, not always as exciting. On this side. This one is not as bright. So a little subtle difference there between the two, but you still have a pretty similar idea. Get almost the exact same look, but just slight little differences. I will continue with a little bit of these colors down below, but probably still the same colors. A little Cabin Woods over here. I'm even going to make my eyeliner from this palette. So both of them have a good bit of black. I would venture to say, though, that there is more black in the Orgy 2 than there is in the Orgy. And again, it is different shades of black. And I know you're like, how many shades of black can you make? But no, you can make varying shades, and I can just tell in the light. Yeah, there are differences. So you got two of them, though, that are shimmers in the Orgy 2. I'm going to take the one that is not a shimmer, which is Double Header. And I'm going to just create a wing with it. And shade that in too with it. And I'm just going to take the true black that's in this one in Orgy 1, and that's Glory Hole. Oh, Jeffree Star. Ooh, the names, they get me. I would say that in the Orgy 1, this is like your truest black. The other one was slightly more almost like charcoaly gray, but still black. This one's like a true black, but it's your only one. Okay. So we used both palettes to make our eyeliner and regular. So I think you can tell just the slightest bit difference in the eyeliner colors. But when you look back here, like, you really don't notice the subtleties, I don't think. So yeah. All right, let me put on the rest of my makeup. I'll be right back. Right now I figure let's stay true to Jeffree Star. We're gonna do some of his Supreme Gloss in the shade Everybody Knows. That is the shade. It's a very orangey shade, though. This came from one of his mystery boxes. It's a little orangey, but it will do for this look. So here is our look 1. So we have Orgy 2 on this side of the face and Orgy 1 on this side. So I think you can tell just a tiniest little difference, but not much. It definitely creates about the same look. I feel like the mattes are slightly patchier than over here, maybe. Like, this one blended better, but I spent a little time blending it, so I don't know. I mean, but still overall, guys, the formula is amazing as usual. I love Jeffree Star formula. So anyway, so I think we have shown that we can definitely make similar looks. So it's going to be very similar color stories. However, like I said, I discovered that there's no two shades that are exactly alike from each palette. So it isn't an absolute duplicate. It's not the exact same shades, but very similar shades indeed. So now that we have this first kind of test done, let's move on and see if we can just create a couple of more fun looks with just the Orgy 2, because I'm dying to play with it some more. So I am going to wash some of this off and we're going to start again on look 2. All right, guys, so I have removed my eye makeup. I just left on my lips though, because I feel like whatever look we create from this palette, I think the red lips will be pretty cool with it. I am dying to do something with this one. This is what I'm so drawn to at the moment. But like, what do I want to do with it? I don't know, but I think I'm going to keep things kind of cool toned with it. Although my lips are pretty warm toned, so we'll see. We may have to get rid of the lips, but let's get playing. Because his colors feel so pigmented to me, I'm going to be very careful. But I want something like kind of cooler tone here with that metallic-y one. So I think I'm going to go in with that. It's kind of almost like a army green color in a way. It's called Non-Stop. So let's see what this is like. What I love about his palettes too is how you can bend them. This makes it so much more convenient, even though, you know, they're big palettes, but you get so much out of his. You just can't beat a Jeffree Star palette. I'm sorry. I know I just keep saying that, but I love his stuff. I hear people ask like lately, why do we still buy Jeffree Star? And this is why, guys, because it's just, you can't beat his stuff. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going very soft-handed with this color because of the fact that I know these are so pigmented. So, and I know that his palettes, you know, people tend to do very fun, crazy, creative things. I am keeping this somewhat like wearable and like party looks or bridal and glam, because honestly, that's what I love his stuff for. And I know that's kind of unusual, but it's just so good. I'm going to kind of make this like almost a halo eye, maybe. Let's go for a halo eye. But yeah, you can kind of see this is a greeny, like army green type color we have going on. I'm going to go right in with it. Intense is what it's called. I'm going to use my finger at first and see what it looks like. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. We just did the whole lid with that though, didn't we? Okay, look at that. I mean, like right there, I don't even want to do anything else with it. It's just so pretty. Like that is perfect. Okay, I gotta try more stuff from the palette though. Come on, Sherry. You gotta like give the people a review. Let's go in. I'm gonna use one of these other colors for like an inner corner. You just make a look out of this. I think that's gorgeous, but let's do something with maybe, I'm gonna take from Big Daddy. These names. He gets me. It just makes me chuckle. And I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit of Big Daddy right here. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. I am in love. I am in love. Okay, my cat is interested too back here. He's like, ooh, let me see what you're doing, Mom. I'm gonna take a light one. Maybe, I think I'll take Back to Back. I want to know what that means in the Orgy palette. And I'm mostly going to use this as my corner pop. I like how the names are different between the two palettes too. We'll look at that in a minute. This man knows how to make me a palette. Thank you, Jeffree. I cannot thank you enough. This is so gorgeous. This is so gorgeous. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with eyeliner again. And I'm going to use the double header out of here, and we're going to make a wing. I mean, it's like I can just do regular eyeliner, I know, but like, why do that when I can just make it right from the palette? Okay, so honestly, like, I think we can just kind of leave the look here. Is that not so gorgeous? So gorgeous. I can add lashes to this and give it even more va-va-voom, but I am in a hurry trying to get to another look before I gotta go pick up my son again. So let's do this. I'm going to let this just be it. This is look number 2, and that is, I'm in love. I'm absolutely in love, but you're gonna have to tell me which one is your favorite look at the end. So let's move on to look number 3. All right, we're back. This time I'm going to try to make, I think I'm gonna do more with that coppery, more orangey color, because I feel like that's what's so different from Orgy 1. So I'm gonna go straight in with Colorado Campfire. Sorry, I'm always trying to figure out what that has to do with Orgy. Guess they're having a campfire with it. All right, so I'm going to put this one in the transition, like over the crease here. These are ultra pigmented too, so just be careful. Depends on like how much color you want, you know? I am gonna blend this down a little. I like a little more subtle, personally. And we're gonna do Bricked Up. Still gonna keep with a little bit of that same theme of just, we'll do the darker ones on the outside edges. So between Orgy 1 and 2, I definitely prefer this palette, no doubt, because it's full of shimmer and a few more like vibrant colors that they added in. It's not just straight neutrals. Then I think I'm just gonna cover the lid in Donkey Punch. Yeah, very orangey, bronzy penny going on here. Now, I just did the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, and there was a certain look you could do that made a very bronzy one also, but this one's a lot more pigmented and even more orangey than that one was. So it's like the very pigmented version. Cool. All right, let's see. Maybe, do I want mealtime or esophagus? I don't even want to know what he's thinking with esophagus on this. Oh boy. Which one do I want? That one or that one? Well, let's try esophagus, because I can't stand not using the one just named esophagus, because I'm thinking all kinds of terrible things with this. And I'm just gonna pop that in the inner corner. I think honestly, that's probably good. I can probably leave it at that. And then, guys, I mean, there's just so many more looks I can make with this. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna add a little bit more of a wing and all that. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. I feel like this one really calls for lashes, but like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time with trying to squeeze everything in, and I feel like I need to clean it up a little bit more. But overall, here is the look to give you an idea. This is definitely the one that is not in the Orgy 1 palette, so a lot more orange and vibrant, not as neutrals as that one, but loving it. So great look. It's not as shimmery as I thought. I guess it is when you get up close to it. I think I need my reading glasses to see. But anyway, so really fun. So I feel like there's just so many more looks I want to create. Like I could go on and there's 3 more looks I want to do with this, but I've run out of time, guys. I'm sorry if I want to get this up. Like I really just want to create an overall really light, like almost bridal look, like champagne-y, sparkling with these beautiful shimmers down here. And I really want to create kind of like a smoky, like light smoky, like black on the outer edges and white. I want to do a little bit more with the golds in here, but I don't have time for 3 more looks. So I'm going to have to probably call it quits for now and just play later. So be looking for shorts, be looking for my rankings video where I play with the palettes and give you guys different looks with these different palettes. But I think I've done enough overall to kind of give you my thoughts and review on it. Absolutely in love with this palette. It may honestly be, spoiler alert, probably will be my #1 coming up in my rankings video for the month, because it's just, you can do so many things with it. Like I said, I'm sitting here thinking of 3 more looks I want to do, and I've already done 3 as it is. And that's what I love about Jeffree Star. There's just so many things you can do with his palettes. They're so versatile. The formula is so good. He's so entertaining, and it's hilarious what he names everything. Let's look real quick. I meant to do that, was compare the names on these. So on Orgy 2, you got snowballing, topped off, role play, pegging, raw, back to back, downtown, grower, oh my gosh, okay, shower, starhole, glazed, windblown, intense, mealtime, okay, esophagus, Colorado campfire. Is that supposed to be like Brokeback Mountain? I don't know. Donkey punch, bricked up, ex-boyfriend, backbreaker, never enough, saddle, nonstop, roar, lioness, cabin wood, big daddy, double header, size matters, and endless. Oh my. Okay, so on Orgy 1, we've got I'm shy, vanilla latex. God. Implant, teach me, silk robe, seduction, voyeurism, fluffer, blowout, gender fluid, body, red or floor, knee pads, safe sex, top, bottom, versatile. Should I even say some of these out loud, y'all? Craving child. I mean, like, there's some, like, I don't know if I should say it out loud. I probably should leave it at this. There's happy ending, there's explicit, there's invitation only, booby trap, blurry hole. Oh my. This suddenly went from a family channel to I'm really treading on demonetization. I need to be careful. So, Jeffree Star, don't get me demonetized, please. But I love it. I mean, it's hilarious. Like, yeah. Anyway, once again, this formula is incredible. Love everything about it. The differences between the 2 palettes, you know, that we established. This one I love so much more, honestly. The Orgy is just so perfect for all your neutrals, a matte base. So good, I think, for makeup artists, bridal makeup artists. But this Orgy 2 just took it so much further and made it like a palette that's going to be a favorite of all, because you still can make so many perfect like bridal and makeup artist looks, party looks, but then you can do so much more like exciting things too, and it's so versatile for that. So absolutely love it. It is the perfect mix of shades. Yeah, and so really just those differences was he added some warmer, copperier tones in the middle and added shimmers, I think. So that's the main 2 differences. And then, like I said, the color story is very similar. You're getting almost the same color story, but there's no 2 shades exactly alike from each palette. So he did still shift it a little bit and create different shades than before. So yeah, that's my take on it. I'm absolutely in love. I love it. Do I think that you need both palettes? If I had to choose between one, I would definitely go with the Orgy 2 all the way. If you already own Orgy, do you need Orgy 2? I think you do. I think you do. Not color story wise, unless you want this one. This is the only reason to buy it, for a new color story. but I think you need it because of the shimmers, because of the extra added flair that this one has. So anyway, that's everything. That's my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you love your Jeffree Star too, what all you own, if this is going to be your new favorite, if you're picking it up. Make sure you stick around because, like I said, I'll bring you guys my monthly rankings video, and I'm also definitely planning and have been planning to bring you guys a specific Jeffree Star rankings video where we go through all of my Jeffree Star products and we rank them and show some different looks with them. So definitely be on the lookout for that video. I'll bring it to you as soon as I get a chance, and I have more to play with now to be able to create that. Make sure that you stick around if you love all things palettes and fun and makeup and beauty and reviews, beauty boxes, whatnot. I always do his mystery boxes now too. So you don't want to miss all of that fun. Make sure you pop that subscribe button, turn the notification bells to on, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.